When the U1000 code shows up on a Nissan, the first thing you need to understand is that it does not mean a sensor has failed or that the engine is about to die. This code basically means, hey, the car's computers aren't communicating properly with each other. It's an internal communication issue, not a single broken part. That communication problem happens because the vehicle's modules, like the ECM, TCM, BCM, and others, talk to each other through a network called the CAN bus. If one module stops responding, even for a few seconds, the main computer gets stressed and triggers the famous U1000 code. That's why, in many cases, the car still drives normally, but the check engine light comes on as if something serious were wrong. This is where mechanics strongly agree. The most common cause is not a bad computer, but something much simpler and more annoying: a poor ground or a wire with a bad connection. Many mechanics report that when they check the engine grounds, chassis grounds, or ECU grounds, they find loose bolts, corrosion, or partially broken wires. Clean them, tighten them properly, and suddenly the code disappears like magic. Following that same idea, another very common factor is the battery and the electrical system. If the battery is weak, was recently replaced, or was disconnected carelessly, the CAN network can go crazy. That's why there are many cases where the U1000 code shows up right after replacing the battery, alternator, or doing electrical work. After checking grounds and the battery, mechanics usually move to the next level. Fuses and wiring harnesses. A partially blown fuse or a loose connector can cause a module to go silent, and when that happens, the ECM notices and stores the U1000 code. This is why it's critical to inspect fuses related to the engine, transmission, and body control modules. Something else that comes up often in the shop is that sometimes U1000 appears by itself, with no real symptoms. In those cases, many techs try disconnecting the battery for 10 to 15 minutes to reset all the computers. Sometimes it works and the code doesn't come back, but if it does return, it's the car warning you that there's a real electrical issue that can't be ignored anymore.